In a quiet town, where the air was often filled with the scent of pine and the distant sound of rustling leaves, lived a young girl named Mira. This town, small and familiar, was the kind of place where everyone knew each other's names, and the streets were lined with cozy houses surrounded by nature. Mira, now 20 years old, had grown up here, but her journey had not been easy. When she was just 9 years old, a tragic car accident took both of her parents from her, leaving her to face the world without them. Her grandmother became her guardian, offering all the love and comfort she needed during those difficult years. They shared quiet moments in their garden, reading stories together and sitting by the fire on cold nights. It was through her grandmother's care that Mira found some peace. But as the years passed, her grandmother's health began to fade. By the time Mira turned 18, she too was gone, leaving Mira to navigate life on her own once again. As Mira grew older, the absence of her family weighed heavily on her. Though she clung to the happy memories, the once familiar connection she cherished had faded, leaving a void that felt impossible to fill. To handle her feelings of sadness and isolation, Mira found happiness in creating art and reading stories. She often sat at her desk, drawing places she knew or scenes from her imagination. Her drawings filled the empty spots in her room, helping her feel more in charge of the silence in her life. When she wasn't drawing, she lost herself in books, reading carefully, as if the stories could take her away to a different world. Most of her childhood friends had moved away by the time she was 19, leaving the town much quieter than before. Therefore, Mira spent her days wandering through the woods, walking along the river, or exploring old, abandoned places, hoping to find some kind of adventure in the stillness of her surroundings. In the evenings, Mira would go to her small balcony, where she kept a few favorite books. The pages of these books were worn out, because she had read them many times. The books Mira read became a safe place for her. Each story allowed her to experience new adventures and visit distant places, which helped her escape the dullness of reality. The characters and places in the books came alive in her imagination, painting bright pictures of thrilling adventures and beautiful landscapes, helping to fill the quiet space left by her grief. For a long time, Mira had been searching for comfort in her solitude. On quiet nights, as the stars twinkled above and the world outside drifted into silence, her mind would wander to magical places. In her dreams, Mira found enchanting worlds filled with flowing rivers, colorful flowers, and bright colors that seemed to move in the air. Each dream felt like a short escape from her regular life, so clear and wonderful that it seemed like she could actually reach out and feel the beauty around her. When Mira woke up, she often felt both happy and sad at the same time, enjoying the joy from her dreams, but also wishing they could have lasted longer. In her dreams, she visited lively worlds full of adventure, beauty, and connection, everything she wished for in her waking life. But when she opened her eyes to the quiet stillness of her room, the warmth of those dreams faded, replaced by the sad reality of her isolation. The big difference between the bright, colorful worlds in her dreams and her quiet, ordinary days made her wish even more for a life that was exciting and magical. One night, the full moon cast a soft, silver light over her balcony. Mira sat there, wrapped in her thoughts, as memories of laughter and happy moments with her friends and family danced through her mind. Each memory felt like a warm hug, reminding her of the joy they shared. However, these memories also made her feel sad because she missed those moments. The moonlight wrapped around her like a cozy blanket, bringing a sense of calm as she reflected on those cherished experiences. On that full moon night, Mira felt the weight of sleep pulling her under. Her eyelids grew heavy, so she went to bed and quickly fell into a deep and restful sleep. The world of her dream welcomed her with the sweet sounds of nature, the chirping of birds, and the gentle rush of a nearby waterfall. The scene was magical. But even surrounded by such beauty, Mira still felt a deep sadness that she couldn't ignore, a reminder of the emotions she always carried with her. In her dream, Mira found herself sitting by a sparkling river. The sun was beginning to set, casting a warm golden glow over the water, which shimmered under the bright light. As the sky turned shades of pink and orange, a delicate blue butterfly fluttered nearby, its bright colors catching her eye. Mira watched it closely, feeling a connection with the lovely creature. She sensed that it also seemed to be far away from something, maybe missing the presence of others and wishing for companionship. In dreams, we often feel stuck, as if there are invisible barriers holding us back. We may want to fly or run, but find ourselves unable to move freely. But tonight was different for Mira. She felt a spark of freedom as she carefully reached out and held the butterfly in her palm, promising to help it find its friends. Together, Mira and the butterfly embarked on an adventure through the lush forest. They moved playfully among the tall trees, whose leaves sparkled in the sunlight. The air was filled with the sweet fragrance of blooming flowers, and the sounds of chirping birds echoed all around them. As they went deeper into the forest, Mira felt a thrilling sense of freedom, a type of happiness she hadn't experienced in a long time. After some time, they reached a wide open space in the forest, and Mira gasped in surprise and happiness. A colorful group of butterflies flew around gracefully, their wings shining in bright shades of blue, orange, and yellow. It was a beautiful view, and Mira felt a rush of joy in her heart. Mira understood that it was time to say goodbye to her new friend. Carefully, she held the butterfly in her hands and said softly,
"Go, my friend. You belong with them."
With a gentle smile, she opened her hands and watched as the butterfly flew up into the sky, joining its friends in a happy reunion. But just as Mira watched the butterfly fly into the sky, a bright light surrounded her, sparkling with colors that took her breath away. It wrapped around her like a warm hug, filling her with happiness. She felt a strong pull, as if the magic of the forest wanted to keep her there, forever. But just as Mira was enjoying the moment, a sudden force pulled her back. She gasped and woke up suddenly. Her heart was racing. Sunlight streamed through her window, filling her room with warmth. As she blinked against the brightness, memories of her adventure flooded her mind. The natural beauty of the butterflies, the vibrant colors of the forest, and the sense of freedom she never had before. A smile grew on her face, filling her with happiness as if she had achieved something special. She felt warmth in her heart, a lingering connection to the magical world she had just experienced. However, when she looked down at her hand, something unusual caught her attention. There, in her palm, was a delicate, sparkling powder, shimmering in shades of blue, just like the butterfly she had held in her dream.
This can't be real. Maybe I'm just imagining it. Things from dreams don't show up in the real world, right?
Mira whispered to herself, staring at the shimmering powder in her hand. Her heart raced as confusion and disbelief filled her mind. She shook her head and said,
It must have been here before. Maybe it was already in my room when I went to sleep. I was just too tired to notice.
Still unsettled, she decided to wash her hands and shake off the feeling. She got up and walked toward the kitchen, leaving her room behind. As the door softly closed behind her, the room grew quiet.